Welcome to today's video. We'll be talking about an iceberg of the most impactful events on modernized world, starting with the first layer. This one is pretty popular. The September 11 attack, also known as 9/11, is what four coordinated Islamist terrorist suicide attack by Al-Qaeda, I hope I spelled it right, against the United States in the 2001. 19 terrorists hijacked 4 commercial airlines, crashing into the Twin Tower of the World Trade Center in New York, also known as the Twin Tower. The third one went into the Pentagon, aka the headquarters of the U.S. Department of Defense, in Arlington County, Virginia. The fourth one crashed into a rural area in Pennsylvania field during Pacific Revolt. The attack killed more than 2,900 people, making it the deadliest terrorist attack in history. In response to the attack, the United States waged global war on terror over multiple decades to eliminate hostile group deemed terrorist organization, as well as the foreign government purpose to support them. Next one is also very well known and have one of the biggest impact on the modern USA. Independence Day, also known as the 4th of July, which commemorates the ratification of the Declaration of Independence by the Second Continental Congress on July 4th, 1776, established by the United States of America. The founding father delegate of the Second Continental Congress declared that the 13 colonies were no longer subject and subordinate by the monarch of Britain, King George III, and were now united, free and independent states. The Congress vote approved the independence by passing the Lee Resolution on July 2 and adopted the Declaration of Independence 2 days later on July 4th. It's commonly associated with fireworks, parade, barbecues, carnival, etc., and ceremonies, in addition to varieties of other public and private events celebrating the history, government, and tradition of the United States Independence Days. May 7th of 1945, the end of the World War II in Europe, occurred in May of 1945 following the suicide of the Austrian painter. On 30 April, leadership of the German Empire passed to Grand Admiral Karl Dosny and the Fleischmann government. Soviet troops conquered Berlin on 2nd May, and a number of German military forces surrendered over the next few days. On the 8th of May, Field Marshal William Cato signed the German instrument of surrender as an unconditional surrender to the Allies. In Karlsruhe, Berlin, this celebrated as Victory in Europe Day, while in Russian 9th May is celebrated as Victory Day. Some fighting continued after the German surrender. Some battle continued on the Eastern Front, such as Courland Pocket in Western Latvia, surrendered on 10th May, and the Prague Offensive of Czechoslovakia, ending on 11th May. On 25 May 1945, the Battle of Oxac, I hope I spelled that right, ended in Yugoslavia partisan victory following the conclusion in the Europe theater, and the war continued in the Pacific theater. 1939, the invasion of Poland, also known as the September Campaign, Polish Campaign, and Polish Defensive War of 1939, ranging from 1st September to the 6th of October 1939, was a joint attack on the Republic of Poland by the German and the Slovak Republics and the Soviet Union, which marked the beginning of World War II. The German invasion began on 1st September 1939. 1 week after signing the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact between Germany and Soviet Union, and 1 day after the Supreme Soviet Union had approved the pact, the Soviet invaded Poland on 17 September. The campaign ended on 6 October, with Germany and the Soviet Union dividing annexing the whole Poland under the term of German-Soviet Frontier Treaty. Later on, we will know that Germans betrayed and actually take the whole Poland and take Poland as the way to go straight to the Soviet land. So this one is a bit tragic. It's the day that the assassination of John F. Kennedy happened, the 35th President of the United States. While Kennedy was riding as a passenger in the Lincoln Continental motorcade in Dealey Plaza, downtown Dallas, Texas, he was accompanied by his wife, Jacqueline Kennedy, Texas Governor John Connally, and Texas First Lady Nellie Connally, Secret Service Agent Roy Kellerman, and the driver, Agent William Greer. The group is a part of several cars in a motorcade of a vehicle on the way from the Dallas airport to Love Field to the Dallas Trade Mart, where the president was scheduled to deliver a speech at luncheon for 2,600 guests at 12:30 p.m. As the car was passing in front of the Texas School Book Depository at 411 Elm Street, President Kennedy and Governor Connally were struck by bullets fired at a long range. The president arrived at Portland Memorial Hospital at 12:38 p.m., taken to surgery immediately, and pronounced dead at 1 p.m. So, the actual investigation started with Lee Harvey Oswald, a 24-year-old employee at the book depository, left building approximately 3 minutes after the shot was fired and went to his home at 1026 North Beckley Avenue. At 1:50 p.m., Dallas police officer G.J. Tippit was shot 4 times, allegedly by Oswald. Oswald was seen walking into a cinema, the Texas Theater, when policemen rushed in and patrolman Nick McDonald disarmed and arrested him at 1:50 p.m. At 2:38 p.m., Vice President Lyndon B. Johnson was sworn in as the 36th President of the United States by the U.S. District Judge Sarah T. Joseph on board Air Force One prior to the airplane departure from Dallas. Because a Bible could not be located on the plane, Johnson took his oath instead upon a Roman Catholic liturgical book, the St. Joseph Sunday Missal. Air Force One with a coffin containing President Kennedy's body arrived at Andrews Air Force Base near Camp Spring, Prince George County, Maryland at 5:58 local time. Earlier in the day, at 10:15, President Kennedy has placed a telephone call to former Vice President John Nance Garner on the occasion of Garner's 95th birthday. Oh, this man is old. President Kennedy delivered a speech to supporters at the Hotel Texas in Fort Worth before flying on Air Force One to nearby Dallas. In the early afternoon edition, some newspapers in the United States ran a story based on the advanced text of the speech that President Kennedy had planned to give at the Dallas Trade Mart, anticipating that the address would already have been delivered by the time that the newspaper were being read. On the same day, television signals were broadcast from the United States to Japan for the first time, with transmissions sent from Boston, California, via the Relay 1 satellite across the Pacific Ocean. Pre-recorded message from President Kennedy has hastily removed from the item to be sent because the president has died an hour before schedule. Broadcast because of the 17-hour time difference between California and Japan. It was 4 a.m. on Saturday in Tokyo, at the same time that transmission began to the NHK. The attack on Pearl Harbor was a surprise attack on the United States Pacific Fleet as a naval base at Pearl Harbor on Hawaii on December 7, 1941. At the time, the U.S. was a neutral country in World War II. The area on Pearl Harbor, which was launched from aircraft carriers resulted in the US entering the war on the side of the Allies on the days following the attack. The Japanese military leadership referred the attack on the Hawaii operation and Operation Owl as Operation Z during its planning. So this is just the first part. This will be the first part of this Iceberg series. We'll be doing the rest on the following day. Thank you for listening. I am the storyteller. Goodbye and see you again.